Hello, everyone. Today I wanted to talk about a 1981 movie that was released by Kino Lorber in December of 2020, and it's titled Continental Divide, and that is starring John Belushi, Blair Brown, written by Lawrence Kasdan, and directed by Michael Apted. It is a significant point in John Belushi's career in that he was trying to transform from the kind of characters that he was most famous for, which were raucous, over the top, kind of cartoonish characters, and see if he could maintain popularity playing, relatively speaking, normal guys. So this is a romantic comedy. He has to develop rapport with his female co-star, and he plays a muckraking journalist in Chicago who's hot on the trail of a corrupt city councilman. His life becomes endangered. His paper sends him to the Rocky Mountains to see if he can get a story out of a famous reclusive scientist who is up there studying the habitat of the endangered species bald eagles. So the first part of the film is Chicago, and it's very well drawn. We get a real sense of the city, so that when we go to the mountains, the majesty of the Rocky Mountains, it's a huge transition, and he eventually does reach her cabin. His guide is going to come back in 2 weeks, so she reluctantly has to provide him, let him stay with her for 2 weeks, because he would have never been able to get down off that mountain alive. And a romance develops. Why not? It's a romantic comedy. And Blair Brown turns out to be sort of a Howard Hawks type heroine. She knows the ins and outs of the outdoor life. And a good thing too, because she has to save his life a couple times. John Belushi, he's of course out of his natural habitat, and she would be lost in the city. He's lost in the countryside, and a real chemistry does develop between the two. And Blair Brown's a really good actress, and she had 3 movies in a row that were pretty significant. The previous movie was One Trick Pony with Paul Simon, and the next film after this was Altered States, which was the Patty Chayefsky, Ken Russell version with William Hurt. But she was mostly on TV. She did have The Days and Lives of Molly Dodd, which was a big cult TV sitcom, and she also won a Tony Award on Broadway for a play called Copenhagen. Belushi had cleaned up his own life in order to make this film, because of this strenuous nature of having to film in the Rocky Mountains, and he lost weight, trained with a trainer, and was off drugs. And he was reportedly clean and sober for this movie. And the second to last movie, his last movie, Neighbors, the set was cocaine was everywhere. And in March of 1982 is when he had his fatal drug overdose. But I think he shows in this movie that he was versatile as an actor. If you've ever seen another film, an earlier film that Belushi appeared in, Old Boyfriends, he also played a really good part in that film. And he maintains a comic image, so yeah, he's funny. And some of his friends said the character that he's playing in Continental Divide is really very close to what he really was like in real life. As the two characters don't really know where to go, where they're going to go with this romance, so do the filmmakers, and so the ending is a little bit drawn out as they kind of struggle to get to the conclusion. But it's set on a train, and I always love movies that are set on trains and train stations and the like. And if you like Belushi, you have to stick around for the closing credits. Don't turn it off before, as the credits come up. Credits weren't as long as they are today in 1981, but the credits are shown over a song that sung by Helen Reddy, called "Never Say Goodbye," and we see a whole bunch of stills from the filming of Continental Divide in black and white photos, where Belushi is looking very healthy, smiling. He and Blair Brown hugging each other. It's really quite touching. I thought, kind of ending. He did have one more film, but this is the film. This really is the tribute film to Belushi, in the sense that it showed what his career could have evolved into. There is a commentary on this, Kino Lorber, and it's a very good one. It's a two-person one. I often criticize two-person commentaries, but this is a really good one. The two mesh well together. One of them is Daniel Krimmer, who does a lot of Kino Lorber commentaries, and the other gentleman is Nat Segalov. So I thought it was a very good movie. I really enjoyed it. It doesn't have the greatest transfer. It wasn't It was no restoration. So some of the colors look a little fuzzy. It's not what you might be used to in the modern films that have been restored, and it also probably reflects the way the film was photographed in 1981. So that about wrap up this video. I want to thank everybody for sticking with me, and you guys take care. I will catch you next